Today we did get a new spin cycle set, man, which is not the best at all. The filters aren't the best neither, but we do need to go over the new Snipe filters for you guys, man, so let's get right to it. The first filter we're going to go over is the pink diamond, cheapest filter, man. For this, you want to put your color to pink diamond. You want to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest pink diamond on your console, which today, guys, we are on PlayStation, so the pricing on this will be different from all my other videos. Usually I do filter videos on Xbox. Today we're on PlayStation. Cheapest card is Bobby Jones right now, going for about 42,000. This Corver is 100% a snipe, but I just sniped one a few hours ago and it took me almost the entire 4 hours to sell it, so I'm gonna let that one rock out, man, and I'm not even gonna grab it. But 41.8k is the cheapest price. I suggest you scroll on this filter, man, so that way if an expensive pink diamonds like KP, Cade Cunningham, LaMelo, whoever it may be, Yao Ming still sells for about 100k, any of those pop up for any price on the scroll you're working, buy it as quick as possible. I would grab these other cheaper pink diamonds that sell for 42,000, Bobby Jones, Brooke Lopez, Brad Miller, any of those, man, grab them for about 7,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one. So I'd be looking to grab pink diamonds that are the cheapest ones for about 35,000 MT and below, and resell for profit. The next filter we're going to go over is the spin cycle, cheapest filter, man. For this, you want to put your theme to spin cycle, no color, nothing set. You're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest spin cycle card on your console, which on PlayStation is selling for about 25,000. Lionel Simmons and Jeff Malone are both around the same price. What you want to do, there is one other diamond, which is Bam Adebayo. So you want to definitely scroll on this filter as well, because there are pink diamonds that can pop up, which are way more expensive, and then obviously opals that can pop up, which are way more expensive, man. So scroll on the cheapest diamond, grab these two, Lionel Simmons and Jeff Malone, if they pop up for about 5,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one you're scrolling on your console. So again, on PlayStation, I'd be looking to grab these cards if they pop for 20,000 MT and below. And then obviously if a pink diamond, an opal, or Bam Adebayo, who sells for about 35,000 on PlayStation, pop up for any price on the scroll I'm working, I'm buying them as quick as possible. Really good filter. Just in theory, Tuesdays packs aren't the best and not a lot of people rip them, so good filter to be on. Just hopefully we can get a couple rippers that don't check price, and we can get some snipes going today. The next filter we're going to go over is the diamond, cheapest filter, man. For this, you just want to put your color to diamond. You're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest console cards on your console, which on PlayStation apparently the price just dropped. They were going for 14,000. Someone just recently threw up a bunch of LaSalle Thomases, and now the price is about 13,000 MT. Obviously you want to scroll on this filter as well, because there are still a lot of more expensive diamonds that can pop up, like any of the ones from today's set, man. If you're chilling on a scroll at 14,000 and you get a spin cycle card to pop up, buy it, because you know that you can sell it for 25k just off the last filter we just went over. Any of those pop up, buy them, man. Any, Sengun is probably still expensive. Chet Holmgren is still expensive, man. Any of the more expensive, rarer, older diamonds, however you want to see it, not necessarily just because they're older, but you know what I'm trying to say, the better ones, if they pop up, buy it. If any of these cheap, Tis the Season, LaSalle, any of these cards pop up for about 4,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one, again, I'm looking to grab cards for about 10,000 MT if they pop up on this filter and flip for profit. Guys, just a warning, like I said, I'm on PlayStation today. On Xbox, man, sometimes I do recommend a little bit more room for profit, just because cards are a bit harder to sell on Xbox. So if you want to snipe for 5,000 MT cheaper or 6,000 MT cheaper, I totally understand, man, but 4,000 is what I'm looking to grab for on these cards on this diamond cheapest filter right now, if it's a card I don't know the price of, or just one of these cheaper diamonds. The next filter we're going to go over is the pink diamond spin cycle hard scope filter, man. For this, you want to put your color to pink diamond, put your theme to spin cycle, and you have two different options to work this filter. You can just put your minimum buyout to 500 right now, and then just scroll to the 4 hour mark and see if any cards are up for a decent price. Like, considering Horford is 88,000, you gotta be careful. Like, technically, if you thought you could buy this and then post it for 99,950 and it would sell, you would think that's, you know, 1,000 MT profit. But more than likely, that's not gonna happen. Your card's not gonna sell, just like this one's having a hard time to sell, and then you're gonna end up getting stuck. So I would be looking to grab these cards for at least under 80,000 depending on which card it is, and maybe even like 75,000 depending on what card it is. The other option on this filter is just to put your maximum buyout a little bit cheaper than 100k, so like 99,000. This is how I would work it if I was doing the other method. Instead of working the 500 min buyout where you can see cards at the 100k price point, I would just go ahead and put it like this, and then we're on a 2 scroll. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense, just put your maximum buyout down, just like we do on every other filter. You could even do this and be on a 1 scroll. It really doesn't matter on this filter any longer, since none of the pink diamonds are a bid and selling for over 100k. So low-key, this is probably the better way to work the filter, and because you're looking for all of the cards for like under 80k anyways, so you're good to go on this one. That's the better option. The next filter we're going to go over is the point guard pink diamond filter, man. For this, you want to put your position to point guard, put your color to pink diamond, and you're going to raise your minimum buyout all the way up until you're on a decent enough scroll. As you see here, we go down a little bit, we get this extra Kemba Walker on our scroll. So you want to just make it as, you want to keep your minimum buyout as low as possible and have the best possible scroll. So on PlayStation right now, 85,050 MT is a definite working scroll. Somebody just threw up a couple Gary Paytons, which makes it a little bit worse, but 4 scroll to the 4-hour mark is not bad, man. And obviously you have some good options to snipe on this filter. You don't need to enable anything. If you did want to buy Kemba Walker and Gilbert Arenas or whatever and enable it, obviously you could do that as well by sending them to your collection. But I think just raising your minimum buyout and scrolling is fine. Shout out to Bamcam, who was working this filter yesterday. Sorry that I'm putting it out there. Whoops. I'm just playing, man. I don't think he minds. But W filter, man, obviously you got LaMelo, you got Cade, you got Shea. There's quite a few little pink diamonds out here that you can snipe. Drew Holiday looks like he's still a snipe. Magic might still be a snipe, man. So definitely some options. It's a pretty good non-enabled pink diamond filter if you're still looking for one of those, man. Spend some time on it. The next filter we're gonna go over is a confusing and a hard one. I've been getting a lot of questions about it, so I'm gonna try and explain it as quickly and effectively as possible for you guys. Probably one last time, because this is hard to do in a filter video. This is the max bid filter, guys. For this filter, this is the starting base point, man. If you want to work this filter, basically it's like having an enabled all filter where you can see every card in the game: opal, dark matter, pink diamond. It doesn't matter as long as the starting current bid price is 500. As you see here, this Dillon Wright, 500 bid, 100k buy now. 500 starting bid, which means I could go and bid 20,000 on this, and if all the time ticks down and nobody's bid higher than 20,000 on it, I would win the card. So the starting bid is 500, 500. For this filter, you want to go down, no color, no theme, no nothing. You want to put your maximum bid at 500, because if you put it up to 550, you're going to get a lot more cards, 650, whatever it may be, because this is just a random starting bid price people put on their cards. 500, obviously it's the lowest it can be. And then in theory, to begin with, you want to raise your minimum buyout up to 100,000, which means on this filter right here, you're seeing only the cards that are put up exactly for 500 starting bid, 100k buyout, which snipes do pop up on this filter quite a bit, even at 500, 100k, because people just will start scrolling up and they'll accidentally tab down one and just continue scrolling and not think and not realize that they accidentally went down to the buy it now price, and that's what they were scrolling up instead of scrolling their bid price up to 100k, and then they'll post it and you'll get a snipe for 500, 100k. Obviously on a filter like this, you're looking for any of the cards that sell for over 100k. You're looking for the opals, the dark matters, any of the expensive pink diamonds. But because you only see cards that have a starting bid price of 500, you can change the bid price. I don't really want to do it because I'm low on MT, but if you bring this up your first goal is to lower your minimum. You want to get your minimum buyout down as low as possible. I know you guys, a lot of you have heard people working the 500 filter. That's because they got their minimum buyout all the way down to 500 as well, which means they could see any card in the game for any price as long as it starts with a bid of 500. So right now, I went ahead and did this. You can take this on PlayStation all the way down to 73,900, something like that, and you're still on the exact same 3 scroll. So this is what you would want to do, but you can also change the bid on these cards so they're no longer on your filter. If you go through and you bid 550 on this card and then have a friend or on an account on your phone bid 550 on the same card, the card's bid price will now be sitting at 550 and will no longer be on your scroll. So that means we would be down to a 2 scroll. So you can go through all these cards and bid 550 on all of them, and then have a friend come through and bid 550 on all of them, and you will have no cards up. And you just do that all the way down to 500 minimum buyout or 10,000 minimum buyout, however low you want to go. Bid 550 on all these cards and they're no longer up there, and you can just sit there and refresh and snipe only the cards you want. That's the max bid filter in a nutshell, man. It's a hard one to explain, it's confusing, but it's a really, really good filter if you know how to work it and have another account or have a friend that can help you. You can't just bid on cards on the same console. It needs to be on your phone or on a different console or a friend. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Bulls. Cheapest filter, man, for this. No color, no theme, no nothing. Just put your team to the Bulls and you're gonna raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Chicago Bulls player on your console, which on PlayStation right now is just BJ Armstrong, going for about 2.2k. They all sell for about 2.2k, so there's no need to scroll on this filter. I mean, you certainly could in case, you get like a dark matter Michael Jordan to pop up or something for 2k. That would be crazy, but more than likely, you just want to go ahead and lower your maximum buyout down about 750 MT, or just 700 to 1500 is a good price for this filter. Right now, selling them for 2.2k on PlayStation. Just bring your maximum buyout down to 1500, refresh, and if anything at all pops up, man, buy it as quick as possible, and then just post it up for 2.2k or whatever the price changes a little bit. This is for a challenge, man. You need 5 Bulls players to get a deluxe pack, so everybody's buying Bulls players right now. That's why this filter is up in price. It's been a good one. It's probably a little bit less good because it's now been a filter for like 4 days, so people already know about it and are more cautious about throwing up their Bulls players, but still lots of snipes pop up on here and you can make a lot of MT. The next filter we're going to go over is the Galaxy Opal filter, which could be the best filter in the game depending on what console you're on, man. For this filter, you want to put your color to Galaxy Opal, you want to put your minimum buyout to 500 and just keep refreshing. You must have 100k to, I guess you don't must have to have anything, but you really want to have 100k at least to snipe on this filter, because a lot of the times snipes that pop up will be for 100k on this filter and you won't be able to afford them if you don't have 100,000. Every card in the game on this filter is a snipe. There's 44 opals or 45 opals in the game, which is ridiculous, which means they need to pop up more frequently. But for some reason, the past week, there have been a ton of Galaxy Opals popping up for 3.5 thousand MT, man. 3,000 MT Galaxy Opals popping up. So, if you're on this is on PlayStation. If you're on PlayStation, could be a really good filter to work, man. I haven't heard of any of them for 3.5k in the past couple days, but if you just spend time on this filter, man, you're gonna get a snipe. It's that time of the year where if you're looking for high-end snipes, Opal filter is going to be the vibe for you, man. So Galaxy Opal, min buyout 500, refresh. If anything at all pops up, buy it as quick as possible. And the last filter, of course, is the dark matter filter. For this, you want to put your color to dark matter. Put your minimum buyout to 500, which means you can see any dark matter that pops up with a buyout price of 500 all the way up to 100k. Obviously, any buyout price possible will pop up. That's why we do min buyout 500. You just want to refresh here, man. There have been dark matter snipes on PlayStation, like a ridiculous amount of them for this point of the year. That's huge. That's awesome. Xbox, I still don't know if I've heard of any, but either way, this is just if you have tons of MT and you just want to hype snipe, man. Dark matter is going to be dry, but if you work it, you've got a chance of making millions and millions of MT, man. That's it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, man. If you did, smash that like button for me. I would appreciate it. If you guys want to see the video where we sniped our first Galaxy Opal, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.